This is the second set of notes for pressure and dealing with pressure and gravity. Pressure is created by the gravity pulling air or liquids, any kind of fluid, pulling them down towards the center of gravity, and it varies with depth. So the further down you go into the fluid, in this case the air in the picture, way down low you have higher pressure than you do up top because all the accumulated air it's above the air at the bottom. So as you go lower and lower into the fluid, just more and more pressure. And as you saw from your little lab yesterday in the last session, if you have a vessel of water with a leak, and the further down you go, there's higher pressure, so the water will shoot out further. So the greater the depth, the greater the pressure. And it's also interesting is if you had a spout like this shooting it up right like that, the water will shoot up pretty far, pretty close to the level of the water. So as this level drops and drops and drops, this amount that's shooting up would drop with it. Kind of a neat little thing to see. The bottom of any fluid has the greatest pressure. So again, you can see this, all the dots of air, all the air above, here's a person down here, and there's more, the air above him accumulates and creates the pressure. And atmosphere, talk about sea level. You go down to the beach, put your toes in the sand. That's considered 1 atmosphere. And it does change with the weather and temperatures. But generally we call that 1 atmosphere. And you go higher, and it's lower atmospheres. And you get higher pressure by dropping lower, only so far, of course. Or if you have a contained vessel and do things to increase pressure, which you'll see in one of the activities today. All right, so, in air, we're at the bottom of the air, the fluid that's our atmosphere is 15 pounds per square inch. Not a whole lot of pressure. We live with it all the time and it's no trouble. But you go down to the bottom of the ocean, because the addition of the weight from the fluid above, there's way more pressure. The first of the 2 activities is called gas properties. So it's that first one there. And it is hit the little arrow, the play arrow. And this is a nice way to see how air pressure can be affected by outside forces. Hit the ideal one on the left here. I haven't tried the other 3 yet. So what you can do is this little air pump on the lower right side, just kind of lift it up and pump some air into your vessel here. Now the molecules are bouncing around and they're moving at a fixed speed because of the temperature. So if you heat it up by going down to the center with this little bucket, which says hot and cold, you lift that up to get some flame in there. You're raising the temperature, and you can see the thermometer going up. Notice that the particles are moving faster. That's how heat is represented in the physical world, by movement of the particles. Again, you can see the pressure gauge on the upper right-hand side. So if I take the handle on the left, there's a handle far left side, I can push that handle in to decrease the volume. Same amount of air in a smaller volume gives you higher pressure. So you can just kind of play around with this a little bit. It's kind of a fun it's very satisfying watching those little particles bounce around. You can change different kind of molecules in here, pump some red ones in there. I'm not sure if there's a difference between them, but it's just nice to see how air pressure can be affected by different things. You can also bring, I think, the top center handle down too, no? Oh, you can open the door, I think. There you go, you can let some particles out, pressure drops. So play around with that a little bit. Under pressure. So you have this vessel of water again. We had the lab from last time. There's a little spigot there. You can hit that blue button there, add some more water to it. Uh-oh, it's not working. There it goes. You pull the little handle, add more water. You can let some water out down here if you need to. But I want you to do some things. I want you to add a grid. So type the grid up top there. Actually, let's go also to English units. So we have feet. There we go. That's kind of nice. So it shows you the lines there. Don't touch the stuff in the lower right-hand corner. That's not going to do much for us today. Now, another thing I want you to do is take the pressure gauge. Put your finger on that or your mouse and drag one down right there. Again, you're in the air right now. The blue stuff up top of the screen is the air. Drag another one down into the water, kind of near the top. And drag a third one down deeper into the water. So what we're seeing here is the top one of those 3 is measuring the air, the pressure of the atmosphere. So if I look at this box on the right-hand side where it says units, in the top box where it says atmosphere, I can turn the atmosphere off. Now I'm in a vacuum. So there's no pressure there. I'm out in space, basically. I turn the atmosphere back on, and you see you're getting down to about 15 pounds per square inch as you get down to the bottom of that air. And then, I have the 2 pressure gauges in the water. I can add more water and watch the pressure change of the lower one. And the pressure's not changing off in the middle one because it's still in the air. It's just a little higher pressure than the one above it. Okay, and then you can let the water out as well. But you can see that this is just within a few feet of water. If you're down 10 feet like this vessel, most of us, especially me, I know that, I'll feel that pressure in my ears. And it's quite a bit more pressure. It's another 5 pounds per square inch that my body's not used to. No assignment for this. Just play with these 2 activities, and we'll see you next week. Have fun.